6:36, you're watching and listening to Breakfast with Stephen and Anne. Good morning to you.
Morning, says Dave. Morning, Dave. He's up early. He says, we put up our Christmas tree on the 1st of November because we couldn't wait. We're going to Spain for a month in a couple of weeks, and we wanted a bit of Christmas at home before we go. I don't blame you. I think it's brilliant. Get those decorations up.
An aunt in Hereford said, I moved my living room around yesterday, ready for Christmas, had the Christmas music on, and going to put everything up next weekend at the latest. It's a little bit early for me.
And now's the time you can also watch really stupid Christmas movies. There are so many of them about, but they make you feel good, don't they?
No, end of the month. End of the month, then maybe. But it's a bit too early for me now. But anyway.
I'm surprised at you, because you had a big bonfire party and everything. You like a bit of shazazz.
I do like a bit of shazazz. But a big bonfire party, it was only me and him.
Yeah,
but
and
never,
your rockets.
And the rockets and the...
twirly things and...
Very good. Catherine wheels were excellent this year.
Were they? I'm so pleased. And did you, even though it was pouring with rain and bitterly cold and windy as well, did you still stand outside, determined,
we did it.
With your anorak on and your woolly hat?
We had the big fire going, and we had our tea outside in the room, burgers and chips and a bit of salad.
Yeah, see, that's true British spirit, isn't it?
Love it. It's when I'm at my happiest doing all that.
Good.
Anyway, let's have a look at the papers for you. The Sunday Times leads with a hacking scandal involving leading politicians.
The Observer discusses the biggest nursing strike in NHS history, which they say is going to take place before Christmas.
Mail on Sunday has a royal exclusive. It says Prince Andrew was left in tears when Charles told him he would never return to royal duties.
The Sunday Express focuses on the Prime Minister's plans to have an extra bank holiday next year for the King's coronation.
The Sunday Telegraph has the Chancellor's plans to halve pension relief for middle-class workers.
Oh, I'm sure you'll have a view on that one. The Mirror has an exclusive interview with a man who was handcuffed to a wall by Boy George in 2007. And that all comes, of course, ahead of Boy George being in I'm a Celebrity, which starts tonight.
Yes, he was sentenced for that, wasn't he? I seem to remember. Sun on Sunday focuses on a betting probe involving the three-line striker Ivan Toney.
So there you are, a lovely mix as ever of politics and royal stories and the odd scandal here and there. Sunday papers alive and well.
Oh, they are indeed. Let's see what anthropologist Marianne Hotter and political editor of HuffPost UK, Kevin Schofield, make of it all. Morning, you two. Nice to see you. Marianne, let's start with the Observer. Should we be looking at this nurses' strike?
Yes. So, this is going to be the biggest strike in the history of the Royal College of Nursing, likely this side of Christmas, which obviously there are huge patient backlogs, people waiting for operations, procedures. They may well not happen because the nurses are going to go on strike. And union officials, so these are figures from the Royal College of Nursing, from the union, saying since 2010, so since the Conservatives took power, experienced nurses' pay has fallen by 20% in real terms because it's been year after year of underinvestment in the NHS and lower than inflation pay increases.
Well, that applies to just about everybody in the country, doesn't it? We've all taken a hit in our pay in real terms.
So I think the thing that we have to remember is that it shouldn't be a race to the bottom. And yes, there are certain industries where there is a strong union, where, for example, the rail workers, they're always the ones who kind of get, wheeled out as like, what is it that they're asking for? The rest of us can't ask for that. But the thing is, that's a demonstration of why unions are important, because they can argue, lobby and organise a group of disparate workers so that they do get better paying conditions. But the nurses, teachers and nurses do not go on strike easily. No. They're upset, they're quiet, and also I was talking to, so my son was in hospital last month, unexpectedly. They were absolutely amazing at the Lister Hospital in Stevenage, and really looked after us, from the receptionist at the GP all the way through to the people who met us at A&E and all the rest of it. But one of the nurses was saying, it's really difficult, but it's really hard for us to talk about how difficult things are because we don't want to do a disservice to our colleagues because everybody is working so hard. We don't want to complain, and we don't want to. She said the other thing, which I thought was really commendable. She said, I don't want my patients to worry even more because they think that we're tired or we're stressed or we might make mistakes. But the truth is, I mean, I was there for many hours. We are tired, we are stressed. Mistakes will be made
It's
because
a very good
the
point, that,
system
isn't it?
is collapsing.
If you're a patient, the last thing you want to see is that your doctor or nurse looks absolutely knackered.
Yeah, or is in tears.
Yeah.
And they are. Or they manage to make it to the end of the shift and then they go home, or they sit in their car and cry, or they just go, I can't do this anymore. And if you're up for retirement, you leave early, or you go, I'm going to go and work in Tesco's.
Yeah.
Because this isn't worth it. The impact on my family life, the impact on my mental health, and the impact on the patients. Because I think one of the hardest things for people who are in caring professions, and this is true of carers, social workers, doctors, nurses, that whole range of jobs where you have a responsibility to look after someone who's in a vulnerable position. If you don't feel like you did the best job that you could for that person, it has huge psychological harm, because it's this thing called moral injury, where I did everything I could.
I mean, what's going to happen? They're asking for a hefty pay rise, aren't they?
Yeah, so 15%.
Which is the biggest we've heard of in this. And that whilst you might argue they may well deserve that, absolutely, how's Rishi Sunak going to find the money to pay them at all?
Well, he's not, is the simple answer, but I mean, it's a open gambit, isn't it? They will reach an agreement, as they always do. It'll be much
Do we have
less
to
than
go through a
15%.
strike first? Do we really have to make our nurses do that?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it's every worker's right, I think, to withdraw their labour. I mean, but, you know, as you said, it's the last thing that those in the medical profession want to do, because they're trained to help their patients. The last thing they want to do is refuse to work.
Yeah.
But, you know, as you say, they've been, you know, in real terms, pay cuts effectively for the last 12 years. So, you know, they've got to draw a line in the sand somewhere.
Well,
but at the same time, we'll come to it, the government, you know, they're staring at an enormous £50 billion black hole in the nation's finances. So they're not going to get 15%, but there will be an agreement which hopefully won't be too low and
it's going to
reasonably
agreeable. Just before we move on, I just want to say that it won't affect A&E.
No.
So, you know, they're not going to go on
Although
strike on A&E.
A&E is dysfunctional. I mean, we'll come to that.
Well, it might be
I mean,
dysfunctional. It may well be dysfunctional, but the nurses and staff in A&E will not strike when they're on those shifts, which says it all, doesn't it, about them? I mean, I think you have to listen when nurses strike more than anybody else. Kevin, to the Times and a bit of hacking.
Yeah, I mean, this is a classic Sunday newspaper investigation that's been going on for months, I believe, with the Sunday Times and the Bureau of Investigative Journalism, looking at hacking for hire being carried out. Now, it doesn't accuse any particular organisations of paying for this, but there is hints as to where it may have come from. So it's private investigators linked to the City of London using an Indian-based computer hacking gang to target the likes of Philip Hammond, the former Chancellor. So he was allegedly targeted when he was dealing with the fallout of the Salisbury poisonings. Chris Mason, the BBC political editor, he was targeted apparently when word got out that he was going to be the next political editor, so they were looking into him. Michel Platini, when he was head of UEFA, the European football body. And it's an astonishing piece of work, but essentially what's been happening is shadowy private investigators have been hacking into people's emails, high-profile people's emails.
Who's hiring?
Well, so they don't specifically accuse, but if you look at, so for instance, we said Philip Hammond, Russia, Novichok poison, so you can probably get an idea. Qatar, critics of the Qatar World Cup have seen their emails hacked as well, so that gives you an indication, I think, as to who is pulling the strings here. But as I say, it's a remarkable piece of work, and it just shows that in this day and age when basically no one can really exist at that level, certainly, without access to...
Their phone being hacked. Well, Liz Truss's phone was it? Apparently so badly hacked it's still locked away in a safe somewhere.
She's apparently had to change her number 4 times since July, according to the Mail on Sunday. So, yeah, it is a remarkable and worrying that this is going on.
I wonder whether we're going to go to a sort of Cold War version of the future, where people, if they want to have a conversation, have to go and sit on a park bench and actually have a conversation face to face. And so the only thing on your phone is where you're going to meet, maybe. I don't know.
That might not help you.
Yeah.
In code, it'll have to be in
code.
code.
But then they're able to, it says here, you know, they can even get malicious software which would enable them to basically access your microphone on your phone.
Oh, to listen
And
in
use
at
the
any time.
camera on your phone as well. So if you're going to meet in the park bench, leave your phone at home because they can access that as well.
Right. Okay, there you go.
Dear me.
I wonder if they, you know, you can buy those little pouches, can't you, that block the signal. I don't know if they really work though.
Just turn them off. Turn your phone
Just
off.
wrap it
would be
in
No,
easy.
apparently if you have to take the battery out, and
Oh, you
most modern phones you can't take the battery out now.
Oh.
If you just turn it off, it's still pinging a little signal.
Oh.
Well, and even the boss of Microsoft, who am I thinking of? The famous.
Oh, Bill Gates.
He puts a little sticker over his laptop camera because even he knows that. And he was the boss.
Yeah.
He knows
I mean,
if
he's
you've
doing
got a
it.
camera.
Yeah.
If you've got a camera, if it's switched off, it isn't. It may not be. People can hack in. Yeah.
Hello.
Somebody's watching us now.
You're right, Vladimir. How you doing?
Oh, stop it.
No.
Don't watch me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not interesting going on here. Well, what? No, don't.
Pardon?
But you know what I mean. Nothing scandalous or salacious
Nobody
or
will always
sinister.
speak that until it's used against you.
Yeah. There you go. Well, watch me. I charge you up in the kitchen and watch me cooking tea. What else have we got? Oh, I'll tell you what. Let's have a look at an extra bank holiday because this will cheer us up.
Okay, so good news. It's my birthday.
Oh,
We're gonna have
May
a
the
bank holiday on my birthday.
On May the 8th.
Yep, that's the one. So King Charles III is going to be coronated, crowned.
Crowned.
You know what I mean?
Did they say coronated in there?
No, they.
Oh no, I was going to say.
No, they checked what
A
the
lot of
actual
people,
word
a lot of
is.
people are saying coronated, and it's like.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, and it's like no.
No, it's crowned.
Excuse me. Yes, so we're going to get an extra bank holiday in recognition of the historic occasion.
So that's 3 bank holiday Mondays in May.
Excellent.
Yeah, because they had talked about just moving the maiden
Yeah.
bank holiday, but no, it's an
Decided
extra
an
one.
extra one, which is hugely important for productivity and economic growth.
Well, yeah, so considering how
You
potentially
can't
damage
have-
made to the economy, it's quite a big
You
deal.
can't have the first coronation in 70 years without having a day off to watch it.
No, I think I'm all for
Well,
it.
it's the day off the following because it's on a Saturday, isn't it? Coronation.
So the coronation itself
Sixth.
won't be on the 8th.
That's
You just
the
get a
sixth,
holiday to, I don't know,
On
go
the Monday,
you know,
nice.
have burgers and salad in the garden.
And I was just thinking, the other story we were going to talk about, if there's just a moment of time, is Matt Hancock in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Apparently, allegedly getting 400 grand to do it.
Apparently,
I was just thinking, if I'm a nurse considering striking at the moment, when I think he was a former health secretary during the pandemic crisis,
yeah.
when we were all encouraged to go out in our front doors and bang our saucepans to support the nurses, they must be feeling a bit pig sick that the former health secretary is just getting almost £500,000.
Absolutely. And, you know, the story says that he decided to do it because he realised he's not going to return to government. Well, if there's even the smallest chance of him ever returning to government, I think he's completely blown it by going on this. I mean, and that's before we see the terrible trials that they have him doing. You know, the idea that somebody who's eaten unmentionable parts of a kangaroo's anatomy will end up back in the cabinet, I think, is for the birds.
Oh, well, mind you, Nadine Dorris managed it, didn't she? She ended up back in the cabinet.
Yeah, but he's also done the SAS show on Channel 4. Apparently, he's just been filming that as well. So he's clearly made up his mind.
I think he's
not doing
decided that, yeah, I mean, he's almost like he's working his way up to no longer being an MP almost. You know, he go down the sort of Ed Balls route of becoming like a TV celebrity. You might see him on Strictly, who knows?
It's very hard.
What a thought.
That's his high risk strap, but he's only 40, it's like 43, 44.
Yeah, he's not old, not old.
Well, there you are. He's got a new career ahead of him.
There you go, you see. Look, Kevin, Marianne, thank you both very much indeed. Good to see you.